Hi y'all, Jordan Schilleci here, Joanco Realty Group, and I wanted to come to you and talk candidly about moving to Texas. This video is totally impromptu, and it stems from a blog post that I wrote recently called Moving to Texas. This blog post kind of goes over, well, it does go over the steps to moving to Texas, but I know so much goes into that decision-making process, so I kind of wanted to talk about it. In the blog post, I give you a little bit of backstory, who I am, where I came from, why I feel qualified for talking about moving to Texas. I was born in Houston, Texas in 1986, and I moved away when I was 4, and I came to visit once or twice every single year until I was 17, and then I moved back when I was 17. My parents met in Kansas, and that is where I went back to when I was 4. I've also lived a short stint of time in Florida, Arizona, and North Carolina. So I wasn't technically an Army brat, but my dad was in the Army, and that's what took us to North Carolina. And then I traveled with my mom. At one point, she had travel positions. She was in radiology in the medical field, and then my dad was from Texas, so that's what brought us to Texas. And what else? And then my mom being from Kansas. So I've been a lot of places, and I've seen a lot of things, and I've met a lot of people, and I think that's helped me become a really well-rounded individual. Having to meet people and readjust is a really good trait and quality to have in life. My kids just arrived home. I was trying to sneak this video in, so if they walk in, I do apologize. But yes, moving to Texas. So I've technically moved to Texas quite a lot of times, and coming back when I was 17 wasn't a huge adjustment, but I did notice, like, coming from Kansas, being in the Midwest, life is a little bit slower, and here in Texas it's not quite so slow. There is so much going on all the time. There's so many opportunities, and the reason why I want to continue living in Texas for as long as possible is all of the opportunities. Texas has so much to offer. I wish I could remember where I was writing this, but in one of these blog posts that I've written recently, and if you haven't visited my website, search.byjoanco.com, I have been creating a ton of content over here on the search website. So it's just search.byjoanco. You click blog and you will see that, I really have been creating a zillion. So I posted 93 in October, 51 in November, and then so far the 4 that I am featuring in the videos that I'm doing right now. So I talked about why I picked Texas, and I'm going to go into this in another video, but I thought it was kind of important to share with you, why I love the Houston suburbs, just in case you're considering them. I assume if you're going to connect with me, you probably are considering the Houston suburbs, and maybe that's why you landed on this video. I would assume it's the #1 place people are moving right now, and why I chose Houston, or why I continue to choose Houston, is for a lot of reasons, but I'm going to go ahead and go into what I typed out right here. So I do love where I live. I am not just saying that. I love it for its opportunities. I love that I feel like I'm in a bubble. I love how family friendly it feels, and I love that I can walk my kids to school. I love the shopping, the lifestyle, the restaurants, the people, and so much more. I love the cute neighborhoods. I love the culture. I love the access to Houston. I love the access Houston gives us to the rest of the world. I love the vast amount of continuing education, so like colleges and universities. I love that I feel safe. I love that I can make a living here while raising my children exactly how I want to raise them. Now, what I don't love about Houston is its lack of water and maybe a little bit of the highway system. We do have Lake Conroe, and we just got a boat, so we spend some of our summertime there. And now what I don't like about Houston, lack of water, I just went over that and talked about the boat. I giggle and talk about comparing it, how it does not compare quite to Barton Creek, which is found in Austin and Hawaii, and then I said duh, or the babbling brooks from Mount Rainier. Hello, Washington. But why I live where I live is that I can make a living, afford a nice home, send my kids to good schools, and save money to travel to the places that I want to explore. And you can't forget about the close proximity to Galveston, which is the Gulf, the Bay, the beach. It's not quite like the other places I just described for obvious reasons. But I do love the sunset, and my kids do love the beaches. So Houston is known for its highly rated schools, not Houston as like the center of Houston, but the suburbs, Katy, Cypress, the Woodlands, Friendswood, and a handful of other places have really good school districts. So yeah, I was candidly talking about moving to Texas and where to live in Texas, but I have so many resources for helping you move to Texas and the Houston suburbs in general. So feel free to look down below. I don't want to just be your realtor. I really want to be your resource. I want to help you plant your roots in the right soil. It's so important to me to help you find a home here. I've teased to people lately that there are two types of buyers. There's a buyer that buys a neighborhood, and there's a buyer that buys a house. So which buyer are you? I really want to make a video about this. Are you a house buyer or a neighborhood buyer? There are so many amazing neighborhoods and suburbs here in the Houston area, and it's my goal to help you find the right one for you. Each one has so much to offer. Like, there's so many differences. I do gravitate towards talking about the Woodlands a lot because it is really close to home. I've spent so much time there. My family lives there. I'm a little bit south in Spring, but spoiler alert, most of the Woodlands is in Spring. The cities here are huge. They cover so much land. Like, seriously, Spring is huge. If you're trying to compare Spring and the Woodlands, which the Woodlands is like the #1 place where I sell, and the #1 statistic place for sales as well. So the Woodlands, Katy, and Cypress, those are going to be the top 3 places that have the most sales in the Houston area. But yeah, moving to Texas, I know it's a really big decision to make, and I feel like I do a really good job telling you why Houston would be an amazing place for you to live here on the channel. So please, please, please explore the other videos. If you click my name down below, Jordan Marie Schilleci, it will take you to the landing page of my YouTube channel. There you will see it's really organized and broken down into a whole bunch of different playlists. And you can click on Cypress. That's one of my clients right now. I have my phone here, and my text messages pop up on the tablet. But I have broken down to the most popular suburbs, and I'm adding new videos, not every day because I get a little busy sometimes, but I'm adding new videos just about every month. But there is so much on there, and if there's an area I haven't discussed yet, just reach out to me. I really have done a ton on trying to research these areas. Even if they're not next door, I still feel like I've lived all over Houston in the last 17 years. So I have been back for 17 years. I've lived in Clear Lake, I've lived in Katy, I've lived in Spring. All of my family's in the Woodlands. Kingwood, I have family over there. Sugarland. I feel like I really know Houston super well. I'm not a city girl, like inner loop type of girl, but I do know a couple places to get some really good food down there. And but yeah, again, this was a super candid video, and I just wanted to use it as like a starting point for us to meet. I really hope you give me the chance to answer any questions. I really want to learn your story. It's super important to me that you're working with the right person to help you discover Houston. There's so much to offer here, and I really want to present it all to you so that you know that you're making the right choice. But yeah, tons of resources here, and I really hope you give me the chance to share them with you. Again, this is Jordan Schilleci with Joanco Realty Group. All of my contact information is going to be below, the link to my search website, the link to schedule a call with me. I have tons of ebooks, like seriously, a lot of stuff. I really encourage you to check out the blog though, and all the amazing blog posts that I've put together in the last 2 months. I really think they can be eye-opening for you. I really don't want you to end up in the wrong place, whether it's Dallas, Austin, like a funky part of Houston that might not be your cup of tea. I really, really want to be that resource for you. So I hope you have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.